Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Keystone College's commencement ceremony. At this time, please rise as you are able and remove your hats for the presentation of our nation's colors.
morning, and welcome to Keystone College's 151st Commencement. Dr. Andre Basu, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, is unable to be here today. I am Kate Owens, Associate Dean of Academic Operations and Registrar. Please join me in a round of applause for the Color Guard, the Keystone College Symphonic Band, and Bagpiper. Just a reminder to please put your phones on vibrate during the ceremony. It is my pleasure to announce the stage party. Members of the President's Cabinet, members of the Board of Trustees, President of the Alumni Association, Invocation and Benediction Speaker, Outstanding Graduate, Commencement Speaker, James Clark, Chair of the Board of Trustees, and the President of Keystone College, Dr. Tracy L. Brundage. I would also like to gratefully acknowledge Keystone College's excellent faculty seated in the front. I now invite Reverend Lucas R. Taylor, Director of Multicultural Affairs and Student Activities, to the podium for the invocation. Please rise as you are able for the invocation.
Good morning. Please join me in a moment of reflection. Standing on the edge of possibility, we break to drink in the deep sense of accomplishment, pride, and hope of this very moment. Suspended in time between the student's present and a graduate's future, we gather with abundant joy and overwhelming gratitude. This commencement embodies our vision of education as an engaged and dynamic partnership between Keystone College and the wider world. Today, we celebrate our collective commitment to creating a better and more just world. May we bask in the delight of this day, and may the fierce dedication and patient determination that has brought us to this moment carry us forth. Let us create a world where empowered students live in a diverse community where responsibility, integrity, mutual respect, and lifelong learning will be the foundations of your growth. God bless.
Thank you, Reverend Taylor. Please join me in the singing of the national anthem led by Keystone College Symphonic Band. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Thank you. Please be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Tracy Brundage, the 11th President of Keystone College.
Good morning. What a beautiful day. Special thanks to the Commencement Committee for all of their hard work and planning for today. We really appreciate it. Thanks to everyone participating in our ceremony today, Keystone's Board of Trustees, our faculty and staff, our esteemed speaker, our outstanding graduate, and to the parents and family members of these amazing graduates. It takes a village, and we know how proud all of you must be today. Such a special milestone. And lastly, to all of you, I couldn't be more pleased and honored to be with you today, the Keystone College class of 2022, on this special occasion. You have my heartfelt congratulations. Did you ever wonder why we call this commencement? Because commence actually means to begin or start. And here we are celebrating an ending. It's because the ceremony in which degrees or diplomas are conferred upon graduating students, a ceremonial admission to the next stage, the professional stage of your life. As a matter of fact, this day has a very personal meaning for me as well. I began my Keystone career as the Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs in 2017 before being named President in 2018. So I started my Keystone College journey as President at the same time that many of you started as students 4 years ago. My first real experience meeting you was during our annual fall convocation ceremony. I don't know if you remember this or not. I'm going to take you on a trip down memory lane here. I gave each of you a journal that day. I don't know if you remember this or not. And I told you that from a legacy perspective, we tell our stories for ourselves and often as a gift to future generations. Telling our stories is not an end in itself, but an attempt to release ourselves from them and to evolve and grow beyond them. We can use our stories to make a difference in the world. These stories can provide the lens to allow us to broaden our perspective, to see further the normal, and to become aware of our earthly potential and to share that potential with future generations. Stories connect the past and present to the future. I asked you that day to begin writing your own story. I asked you to take the time to describe it vividly with all of the feelings and thoughts that go into how you approach the decisions and experiences in your daily lives. And then to use that story and what you learned to write a legacy letter to someone who might be able to benefit from your story in the future. One day you will read and possibly share your story with others, and hopefully you will have the ability to see beyond it, to be able to extract the meaning out of your life, and to enliven the memories that you collected along the way, hopefully indelible memories indicative of the lifelong influence of the faculty, staff, and classmates forged at Keystone College. I also shared with you several stories of Keystone alums that day. I talked about Christy Mathewson, known as the Big Six, class of 1898, Bill Evanina, class of 86, Tom C., class of 91, who was our commencement speaker last year. And I also mentioned Kate McCucci, who you will hear more from momentarily. I'm curious if anyone remembers me mentioning Kate that day. How ironic is that? I mentioned her to you at that fall convocation back in 2018, and we are so fortunate to have her with us so we can hear how her experiences at Keystone helped shape who she has become today. I remember telling you that day that unfortunately we didn't have time to share everyone's stories that have been touched by their experiences at Keystone College. But I hope that by taking that time to mention a few past students would motivate you about the possibilities of your future. I asked you to be mindful about your time, and as you drafted your own personal stories, to include a section that you would write to your future self and make some predictions about where you would be, what you would be doing, and what goals you wanted to accomplish from that point until now. I hope your journey during these past 4 years, or however long you've been at Keystone, has been memorable and meaningful. I hope you chose to write your story in that journal, but even if you didn't, I know that we all have grown in so many ways since we arrived here. Today is as bittersweet for me as I'm sure it is for you. This will be my last commencement as the president of Keystone. I've accepted another presidency and will be moving out of state in a couple of months. So we are experiencing this transition together. Even though we are at different stages of our lives, you will go on and start the next chapter of your lives, and so will I. Life is all about transitions, and some would say that the true meaning of life can be found within those transitions. We are constantly shifting from one thing to another, from one phase of life to another, and these transitions provide an opportunity for reflection. They represent the experience and knowledge that we have gained along our journey. We should be better prepared for what lies ahead, but life sometimes has a way of throwing us curveballs. We have been experiencing that for the past 2+ years as we have worked our way through this pandemic. I recently read a book that I wanted to share with you. It's called Life is in the Transitions, Mastering Change at Any Age. I read a lot of these kinds of books, always searching for lessons to help connect me to the meaning of life and to my sense of purpose. I read this book with my highlighter in hand, and I found I was highlighting so much that it really defeated the purpose of highlighting to begin with. Needless to say, it spoke to me. I'm sure that the lessons I gleaned from the book may differ from what you might have found meaningful, but it felt like a journey, a collective journey. The author wanted to identify patterns and lessons learned by providing a toolkit for navigating life's transitions. One of the big takeaways for me was when he stated that a life transition is a meaning-making exercise. That's why these periods of time can be so full of creativity. He said that one of the keys to getting the most out of your transitions and our lives in general is to understand our lives as stories, which he calls the primary psychic unit of being alive, making us more human and more humane. He wrote that stories are how we think and dream and how we make sense of the world and of the past, present, and future. The author used the term microsteps throughout, small changes that we can incorporate into our daily lives, tools that everyone can master, which include accepting the situation, making the change, shedding old ways, creating new outlets, sharing your transformation, unveiling your new self, and telling your story. Stories are how we connect with others and ourselves. I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, that was exactly what I told this incoming class back in 2018, and it was at that moment that I knew what my message would be today. That paragraph completed the circle for me and took me back to that hot summer day in 2018 when I saw all of your faces for the first time. Not sure what the next 4 years would hold for you, probably feeling a little bit anxious, fearful, trying to anticipate what was going to happen in your day-to-day life at Keystone, away from your parents, friends, and your overall sense of familiarity in your life up to that point. I told you that I hoped you would be able to match your passion and interests with experiences and skills that would help you prepare for what lies ahead. I shared a quote with you from the late John McCain, who lost his battle with cancer a number of years ago, and he said that we are taught to understand correctly that courage is not the absence of fear, but the capacity for action despite our fears. It takes great courage to sit where you are sitting today. And I told all of you how very proud I was of all of you at that time. I told you to make sure you go to class, do your best, be intentional with your time, be kind and compassionate to others, and remember we are all in this together. Lastly, I said, move forward with an inquisitive spirit and start writing your story. I hope you were able to at least take some of that advice with you as you left Brooks Theater that day. That was another significant transition in your life story, a pivotal moment that helped define your present self. Your story that you came here with has expanded and has new shapes and dimensions now. You made it. You had some bumps along the way, but you did it, and as I said to you back then, I couldn't be more proud of you. Certainly the past 2 years have been a trying time for all of us. We've dealt with obstacles we simply have never had faced before. For those of you here with us today who have either suffered from COVID or have had friends and loved ones who may have suffered or maybe even passed away, you have our deepest sympathies and condolences. We understand the grief and pain that you've endured. But as sad and frustrating as the past couple of years have been, you have persevered, adapted, and grown, not only as college students, but as individuals. You have found new ways to learn, socialize, and experience the everyday joy of friends and family, even if at a distance. Most importantly, you have demonstrated to everyone around you and to yourself that you are remarkably resilient in the face of adversity. This is a quality you will not simply discard at the end of this day, or this month, or this year. You will be able to rely on it for decades to come, both in your careers and in your personal life. I know that today you are not only ready for the challenges life may present, you are also ready for the opportunities. Your professors have taught you well, and you have learned from them. You are prepared for success in whatever field or endeavor you may pursue, and you will do it the Keystone way, with pride, with determination, and with concern for others who may need your help. Never has the world been so ready for you. You are needed for your knowledge, talents, and experience to solve real-world problems with real-world solutions. You had the courage to embark on this journey, often with great assistance and encouragement from those who love you. The poet T.S. Eliot once wrote, "Only those who risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go." Today you have reached one destination and are ready to begin anew. Your life will be full of transitions, and you will go far because you are prepared for and are ready to take the risks needed for success. But along the way, rest assured, you will face challenges and obstacles, just as you have during your time at Keystone. In fact, I can remember being exactly where you are 30 years ago when I graduated from college. While many of you weren't even born yet, our world was filled with turmoil and uncertainty, just as it is now. There was controversy about the U.S. involvement in the Persian Gulf War. The Cold War was ending as the Soviet Union dissolved, and riots were raging in Los Angeles due to the arrest and beating of black motorist Rodney King. The nation was in a recession as we debated the pros and cons of the North American Free Trade Agreement. I was uncertain about the state of the world and my place in it, just as many of you may be right now. But I was determined to do my best and be my best, again, just as you are. To be sure, things didn't always go my way. I failed at some things, just as I do now. If you told me then that I would be standing before you today, I simply would not have believed you. Despite many setbacks, I remain strongly committed to my sense of purpose to serve others in the field of education and to serve my community. And thank goodness that I am able to be here today sharing this wonderful time with you. So you see, nothing is impossible. As famed actor Robert De Niro said several years ago while addressing a graduating class at New York University, "Rejection may sting, but a lot of times it has nothing to do with you. As many times, they simply have someone else in mind. It's not personal, and you can't take it personally. You have to keep on working. Every time you get rejected, you just need to move on and tell yourself next." With that in mind, I offer you the following brief advice. Find your passion and never give up on the journey as you search for what fuels you inside. Pursue the things you love with vigor and energy, but always be yourself, even in the face of adversity. The values you have acquired to this point in your life will serve you well in the future. Second, when you are able, do your best to make a positive impact on those around you. That could be by being a leader in your profession, in your community, or in our nation. Or you may simply act to help those around you on an everyday basis, or as often as may be needed. We are all in this together. Finally, I implore you, never give up. Even when the challenges are great and the road is long, keep at it. Trust me, you will succeed. You can change tomorrow because you believe you have the power and ability to do so. Your impact can and will be monumental. This day, however, is not just about solving problems or facing the future. It's about experiencing the joy of the present and understanding the meaning of this significant life transition in your story. It's about the culmination of the hard work you have done to arrive at this special point in time. In short, this day is about you. Today, we acknowledge your wonderful rite of passage, one that you will now share with tens of thousands of Keystone graduates that have come before you. Just reflect for one moment. You are the 151st graduating class in the history of our Keystone College. That's an honor you will take with you for the rest of your lives. So celebrate, smile, dance. Make sure that those closest to you know how grateful you are for their help, sacrifice, and encouragement along the way. As you do all those things, please remember this. We are so very proud of you, and you will hold a special place in our hearts forever. You have made it. Congratulations to one and all, and thank you very much for being a part of our lives. I'm going to take a few moments and introduce our commencement speaker, who really needs no introduction, but Kate McCucci is a popular actress, comedian, and musician who graduated from Keystone College in 2001 with an associate's degree in fine arts, who then continued her education at Loyola Marymount University, where she received a Bachelor of Arts degree. Inspired by the movie Big, she entered art school with the dream of being a toy designer. Sculpture classes combined with a love for theater inspired Kate to create puppets. After touring Los Angeles elementary schools with her puppet show, teaching sandcastle building at the beach, and interning at Jim Henson Company, she dove into acting and performing. Most recently, Ms. McCucci starred opposite Martin Starr and Dan Stevens as the lead in an episode of Netflix's forthcoming anthology series, Cabinet of Curiosities, for director Anna Lily Amapour and executive producers Guillermo del Toro and J. Miles Dale. She can also be seen in such films as The Little Hours, opposite Aubrey Plaza and John Riley, Mike Birbiglia's Don't Think Twice, opposite Keegan-Michael Key and Gillian Jacobs, and Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, among others. She co-created and co-starred in the group Garfunkel and Oates, alongside Ricky Lindholm. Their TV series spin-off of the same name can be seen on HBO Max, and their comedy special, Garfunkel and Oates, Trying to Be Special, on Netflix. You can read more about Kate's long list of accomplishments in the commencement program. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Kate McCucci.
Thank you, President Brundage. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Hey, Keystone graduates. Woo! I am incredibly honored to be here with you today, celebrating you. You have made it through 4 years of hard work, 2 of those years working through a pandemic. Your college experience may not have been exactly how you imagined, but you made it through, and I'm so thrilled for each and every one of you. Today is a day of celebration. You know, it was only 21 years ago that I was sitting where you are. Well, actually, the graduation was on the baseball field on campus, and now we're partying here at a ski slope. It's pretty cool. President Brundage has asked me to share with you my experiences as a Keystone graduate. And I hope that in doing so, I can leave you with a bit of hope and inspiration, or at least make you laugh, which is actually a really important part of life, being able to laugh at yourself and at life. But we'll get to the advice part a little later. First, a chuckle. Okay. Now, I once told this story on Conan O'Brien's show, but it is one of my favorite stories ever, and it takes place at Keystone College, so I'd love to share it with you today. So one of my favorite things at Keystone was the entertainment and activities they would have for the students. And I tried to attend as many of these activities as possible. And on this particular day, there was a magic show. And I was walking through Hibbard Campus Center on my way to lunch when a man approached me. And he was like, "Hey, excuse me, are you going to the magic show later?" And I told him I was, and that I was looking forward to it. And then he told me that he was the magician, and he wondered if I would be willing to be his assistant for one of his tricks. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Yes, I would love to." And he asked if I could go and rehearse with him. So I've said, okay. So I felt like I had just been discovered for like show business or something. I was so excited. And we rehearsed my part of the trick. The magician really didn't explain what the trick was. He just explained my part, which was to climb into a giant metal box that was sitting on a table. Then, once I was in the box, I would lay down inside the table. Now, at this point, all I had to do was lay there as the trick was happening above me. Now, when the trick was over, I would just sit up and get out of the box. It seemed easy enough. So I learned my part, and I was on my way. I was so excited. I went to lunch, and I told everyone I knew, even people I didn't know. I was like, "You gotta come to the magic show. I'm gonna be performing in the magic show. It's gonna be great. You gotta come see it." So when it came time for the show, the room was filled with all of my friends, and the magician, he made eye contact with me and nodded as I took a seat. So soon enough, it was time for the trick I was going to be in. And the magician said, "And now I will choose someone out of the audience at random." And he walked directly to me and he reached out his hand, and I was like, "At random?" My stomach sank. I had told everyone that I was going to be part of the show. He never told me not to tell anyone. I could hear whispers in the crowd. He knew he was gonna pick her. And now I'm nervous because I feel like I have ruined the whole thing. But I didn't say anything. I just took the magician's hand as he helped me up on the table, and I was shaking because I was so nervous. And now remember, all I had to do was sit in the metal box and then from there, lay down. But I was so shaky, I slipped and I fell into the metal box. And as I fell, I cut the top of my hand on the metal. And not only was it a fast fall, but it was also a really, really loud, like, ba-ba-ba-ba-boom. And so now I'm like holding the top of my hand because it's getting very, very bloody. And the magician looks at me and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, "Do the trick, okay, do the trick." And so he does the trick, and I can't really tell what's happening because I'm in a table, but I can hear him say, "And now I will put swords through this metal box." And I can hear swords going through the box that I am hypothetically in. And then he takes the swords out, and one at a time, he helps me up, and he says, "There she is, and she is totally fine." And I smile and I wave as blood is gushing down my hand and onto my arm, and he looked like a terrible magician. So now this is just really one of many incredible memories I have as a student at Keystone. The 2 years I spent here were two of the most important years of my life. I was always a late bloomer in about everything I do, so looking back, it totally made sense that I came to Keystone as a confused art student. But Keystone did with me what Keystone does best. It filled me with encouragement and confidence, and it allowed me to find myself. I remember a few months before I found Keystone College, my mom and I went to New York for my 18th birthday, and we went to the Today Show where we stood outside the studio and everyone's smiling and holding signs, and my sign said, "I'm 18 today." And on a commercial break, Ann Curry, the newscaster who I had looked up to for years, walked up to me and she wished me a happy birthday, and I was so starstruck. And then she said, "So, what are your plans after graduating high school?" and I froze. Whenever someone would ask me this, I just wanted to cry. Because the truth was, I had no idea. I had no plans. And as I fought back tears, Ann Curry said to me in the coolest, chillest way, "Hey, look, it's okay. The important thing is to have a dream. Even if it doesn't end up being the thing you do in the end, it will help lead you to it." And I smiled and I thanked her, all the while I'm feeling so embarrassed because I almost cried in front of my favorite Today Show host. But her words stuck with me, and I knew she was right. So I picked a dream. I really loved the movie Big, starring Tom Hanks, and I love toys, so the dream I chose to pursue was one of a toy designer. I mean, who wouldn't want to live in New York City in a giant loft with a trampoline, right? So I did some research, and I found out that there was one school in the whole country that taught toy design. And with a little more discovery, I found out that Keystone College had a 2-year art program that would carry over perfectly into the toy program. So I finally had my plan. I absolutely loved my time at Keystone College. I loved my art instructors. It felt like a family. I loved my classes and my fellow students. It was a very warm and fuzzy time, even when it was freezing cold and I was carrying all of my art supplies up an icy hill past Harris Hall. I loved my sculpture classes with Cliff Prokop, and thinking I was going to be a toy designer, I made a lot of the assignments into something toy-like. And this led me to making puppets. And that led me to loving doing voices for the puppets. And my final project before graduating, I carved giant puppets of the story of Little Red Riding Hood. And on my last day of classes, I performed the show for my sculpture class. The wolf had a stomach that opened up, and Little Red and her grandma screamed, "Help, help, get us out of this gooey stomach." It was a total hit, and I couldn't help but feel my gut pulling me toward acting. So just when I thought I'd be going to school to study toy design, I listened to my gut and changed paths. I finished my bachelor's at Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles, but because of wanting to graduate on time, I finished out my art degree. I did every odd job I could to help pay rent and loans and ramen. I taught piano, I babysat, I did odd jobs for people like scrubbing fish tanks. I was a birthday party clown named Silly Jilly, and thanks to all of my sculpture classes here at Keystone, I got a job as a sandcastle building instructor at the beach. Yep, that is a real job. Finally, I figured out how to get my first commercial audition. It was for some kind of chicken, and I had to square dance, and I didn't get the part, but I was so excited because it was a chance. If I could get one audition, there would be more. And eventually, I started to build my career as an actor. So see, all I had to do was meet Ann Curry, get some life-changing advice, aim to be a toy designer, get accepted into Keystone College, sculpt a bunch of puppets, realize I like giving those puppets a voice more than actually making them, decide to move to LA, finish my art degree, learn to be okay with, learn to scrub some fish tanks, quickly learn to square dance, go on a million auditions, learn to be okay with a million rejections, and trust that I was on the right path the entire time. It's kind of like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, but with clowns, and I was the clown. For most of you, you have been in school since you were 3. You have known when you were going to have class, have a break, have a meal, take a nap. Your schedule has been planned out for you your whole life. And now, for the first time, you are being spit out into the world, and it is thrilling, and it is freeing, and it also can be a little wobbly too, and that's okay. So here's some advice that might help you along the way. The important thing is to have a dream. Even if it doesn't end up being the thing you do in the end, it will help lead you to it. Oh, right, yeah, that's the advice I got from Ann Curry. But it's good, right? Okay, here's another one. Write down your goals. Weirdly, there is some kind of power in putting your goals down on paper. And if you're lucky enough to find someone to share your goals with, do it. Early in our careers, my friend Ricky and I would meet every few months at California Pizza Kitchen, and we'd write down our goals on a napkin. We would read our goals to one another, and then we would fold up the napkin and put it in our wallets. We'd carry our goals around in our purses, and then a few months later, do it all again. We would compare where we were at, see what we had achieved, cross things off our list, add new goals. It's a very vulnerable thing to share your dreams with someone, and it is also so incredible to have someone to root for you and also someone to hold you accountable. I was lucky enough to find my friend Ricky, who eventually became my writing partner. We soon formed a comedy band called Garfunkel and Oates, and pretty quickly we were doing comedy shows around town, eventually touring the country and parts of the world. We had our own TV show, and currently we're making an animated musical. It has been so much fun and also so much hard work. And I'm certain we got to where we were going faster because we were doing it together. So another piece of advice, If you can find someone who's going in the same direction as you can team up, because one motor can feel like a reliable Toyota Camry, and two motors can feel like a rocket ship. Here's a little fun piece of advice that I find never fails me. It's called the sleep on it test. If you're having trouble with a decision, before you go to bed, write down the pros and cons. Look at the situation from every possible angle. And when you wake up in the morning, you'll have a clear first thought. And in my experience, it's always the right answer. Okay, another thing. Things won't always go the way you planned. And when this happens, take it as an opportunity to think outside the box and reroute in a new and exciting way. Like, take the lemons you are handed and make a brand new kind of lemonade with strawberries and mint and a splash of orange juice. Throw a lime in there, lots of ice, maybe some LaCroix. Make it the weirdest, coolest lemonade you can think of. Basically, there are no rules. So embrace change and make the most of it. Okay, here's another big one. Use all the energy you have in your 20s. Max it out. Don't waste it. Just look at the Beatles. They did all that before they were 30. No pressure. But seriously, Paul McCartney was 27 when the Beatles broke up. They changed the history of music. They changed the world. In your 20s, your brain is newly fully formed. You have the ability to pull late nights and wake up in the morning feeling fine. This is a gift. Take it and work as hard as you can to reach the goals you want to achieve. You have all the power. I am so excited for each and every one of you. You've got this. I would like to close with a little song I wrote about how special Keystone College is to all of us. I was lucky enough to Zoom with a few graduates last week who shared Keystone memories with me. Thank you to Mo Young, Scarlett Pujos-Riccio, Mark Trexler, Madeline Fernandez, and Taylor Sircone for helping me with this song. I just have to get my ukulele out. Hang on. Okay. Alrighty. I feel like, let me do this here. Sorry, I'm gonna find this. Oh boy. I feel like, okay, this is gonna be great. I think. It will be, okay. All right, we'll do it this way. Gotta roll up my sleeve. How's everybody doing? Hanging in there? You got your fans? Okay. You guys wanna play? No, I'm kidding, we don't have, okay. They rang the bell on campus when you first arrived. Made a bunch of new friends, learned about Chrissy Matthewson, Keystone Pride, intramural, dodgeball, kickball, volleyball, and more. Nature trails and haunted buildings, so much to explore. Walk on suspended bridges, fish for fish and look for ducks. Get a slice of pizza at the caf, and guess what? The campus got a Starbucks. Oh, we love Keystone, a special place to be, where the students, staff, and faculty feel like a family. It's a campus on a hillside, the place where we are from, where we believe, belong, become. So many late nights writing papers, study hard. You can do most anything as long as you don't lose your key card. Got a brand new library, filled it with laptop computers. Feels like a sci-fi movie. I guess we're in the future. You can go to a baseball game just like Field of Dreams. And pretty cool, after 71 years, Keystone has a football team. Woo! Oh, we love Keystone. A special place to be, where the students, staff, and faculty feel like a family. It's a campus on a hillside, the place where we are from, where we believe, belong, become. Even through a pandemic, when everything felt wrong, you stayed on track, you led the way, you were patient, you were strong. You really made the most of it, stuck inside your dorm room. Only way to see your teacher was by logging on to Zoom. But now you're here, so take a breath and we will cheer. 'Cause your new life is about to start, and you'll always have Keystone in your heart. Oh, we love Keystone. A special place to be, where the students, staff, and faculty feel like a family. It's a campus on a hillside, the place where we are from, where we believe, belong, become. Where we believe, belong, become. Congratulations, everybody. Go get them out there. Thank you. Oh. Thank you.
We want to thank Kate for being a part of our commencement in the college's 151st year, and we're going to offer a small token of our appreciation. This book, The History of Keystone, was published by the Keystone College Press and edited by Victoria Aramo, a 2018 alum of Keystone College. And the book shows who we are as a place. Big enough to challenge, small enough to care. So your words mean so much to us at this time of celebration. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We also got this for Kate for her son to be able to take back.
Thank you. He'll love it. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Kate, I don't know. Oh, we're gonna have to get a little wheelbarrow for Kate when she leaves because.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Okay. I'm going to introduce our outstanding graduate to you next. The Outstanding Graduate Award is presented to a student who excels academically and also contributes in many ways to the life of Keystone's campus. The 2022 Outstanding Graduate is Kyle Sasso. Kyle will receive a Bachelor of Science degree in microbiology today. He is an excellent student who is skilled, hardworking, well-rounded, dedicated, and highly motivated, and you can read about his many accomplishments in the commencement program. Please join me in welcoming Kyle.
President Brundage, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, families, friends, and most importantly, the graduates who are sitting in front of me today. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you as this year's outstanding graduate. If someone had told me 4 years ago that I would be the outstanding graduate for the class of 2022, I would have thought they were crazy. Before attending Keystone, I was just your average introverted guy who just wanted to get this whole college thing over with so I can go back to fishing. It wasn't until I embraced the opportunities presented to me these past 4 years that I fully understood the Keystone values of believe, belong, become, which have led me to be here today. To believe means to accept something as true, letting all past awareness of doubt drown in the presence of enlightenment. I remember each moment when I felt the urge to give up. I was met with the encouragement of my professors and colleagues who motivated me to follow through with my passion. Not all colleges are lucky enough to have such talented and encouraging faculty and staff on campus. In the presence of darkness, Keystone has shined the light towards our dreams, pushing us towards accomplishments previously thought to be impossible. While at Keystone, we are encouraged not only to find our purpose in life, but to believe that purpose is obtainable. To understand our purpose, we must first find our passion. The endless nights of studying and submitting last-minute assignments did more than just create poor sleeping habits and help me gain that freshman 15. It was during those nights that I found my motivation for pursuing my passion, believing all these tribulations along the way were worth the struggle. On May 23rd of 2021, it was the belief instilled in me during my time at Keystone, which got me through a week of fighting for my life in the ICU. It was during this time which I reflected on all my previous accomplishments and acts of kindness I have committed myself to embark on while a student at Keystone. Sitting in that hospital bed, I thought of all the lives I've changed while organizing fundraiser as president of multiple clubs, all the residents I've assisted while being an RA, and all those students who I guided towards following in similar footsteps as I did. I knew at that moment in time that I could have died in that hospital bed and knew I made a difference in the lives of so many around me. It was through my time at Keystone which many of these opportunities were presented and encouraged by my family at Keystone. To belong is to be part of something, to feel accepted. The friendly atmosphere is what drove me to attend Keystone 4 years ago. There was never a moment when I felt out of place. Everyone at Keystone was a friendly face and truly made you feel part of something greater than your average college community. The family which is made through Keystone is something that will forever hold a place in my heart. To become means to begin to be. As we sit here today, we all come from various backgrounds, beliefs, and passions, which has led us towards the path of our dreams. As we leave here today and we are deciding next steps towards further new jobs and further education, I want each and every one of you to remember what has driven you to this very moment. It wasn't by chance that you ended up here today. Years of sacrifice, hard work, and unwavering commitment towards accomplishing our dreams in life have paid off in truly remarkable ways. I don't know how your future will line up, but I do know that the passion, purpose, and drive which motivated you towards these next steps in your future will guide you to where you are meant to be in life. Those who dare to dream will be rewarded in ways truly unimaginable. Fearlessly pursue your passion, and I promise you all the struggling along the way will only be there to strengthen you for your future. I would like to end this speech by giving a special thanks to those who have encouraged me, guided me, and built me into the person I am today. To the faculty and staff at Keystone who have guided each and every one of us, know that your commitment did not go unnoticed. Specifically, Dr. Vicki Stanovich has been one of my biggest influences to succeed and follow my dreams. Without her help and guidance, I would not have accomplished much of what I achieved during my time at Keystone. To my friends and colleagues who have become a second family while at Keystone, I am honored to have met each and every one of you and privileged to graduate alongside many of you today. Thank you to the Factoryville Fire Company for not only guiding me to becoming an amazing EMT, but also being a second family away from home. Most importantly, I would like to thank my mom, dad, Aunt Joyce, and Uncle Bill for their sacrifices, love, and ongoing support. If it were not for you, I would not be the man I am today. Congratulations to the class of 2022, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak amongst a crowd of such talented individuals. We did it.
Thank you, Kyle, for the heartfelt, motivating message. Keystone College is recognizing our graduating veterans with a special red, white, and blue honor cord in honor of their service to our country. At this time, I ask all veterans, including our graduating veterans and active duty military personnel who served our country, to please stand and be recognized. Thank you for your service. Many of you earned academic awards presented to you at our All-College Honors Convocation. Those awards are listed in today's program. In addition, a significant number of you earned academic honors determined by your grade point average at the time of graduation: cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude. These honors will be noted as we present the diplomas. They are also noted in the program. We ask those graduating with honors to stand and be recognized with a well-deserved round of applause. We now begin the conferral of degrees to the Keystone College graduates. There is a professional photographer taking pictures of each graduate. In the interest of decorum and as a courtesy to those around you, please remain seated while the graduates are awarded their degrees. Thanks to each of you for your cooperation. Marshals, please take your positions. I invite President Brundage and Chair of the Board of Trustees, James Clark, to join me in the conferral of degrees. Candidates for the degrees of Master of Accountancy, Master of Business, Master of Business Administration, Master of Education, Master of Science, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Associate in Arts, Associate in Science, Associate in Fine Arts, and Associate in Applied Science, please rise. Yes, that is all of you. Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the faculty of Keystone College, I present these candidates and respectfully recommend that such degrees be conferred upon them.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and by the trustees of Keystone College, I confer upon the candidates the degrees of Master of Accountancy, Master of Business Administration, Master of Education, Master of Science, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Associate in Arts, Associate in Science, Associate in Fine Arts, and Associate in Applied Science from Keystone College. Congratulations.
We now have the special privilege of presenting the 2022 graduates of Keystone College with a symbol of their accomplishments. So your pictures, you're there for pictures over here. Please stand. I have to adjust the mic again. Oh, I need names. Okay. Yeah. Put them in order. You're here. School of Professional Studies, Master of Business Administration, Sagar Amin. Taylor Lynn Sircone. Jennifer Doherty. Eddie Bay Enobi. Haley Margaret Lovell. Milo Vincent Riley. Aileen Ann Royce. Master of Education, Casey Lynn Chesnick. Keely Bowles. Bachelor of Science, Lacey Marie Ammenhauser. Madison Kylie Aston. Sierra Annette Auckland. Bradley J. Barletta. Mark Bonilla. Jordan Daniel Boschman. Kyla Rose Brennan. Cameron Austin Bryce. William Damon Brigmohan. Gary Jalen Brown. John Keynes. Tracy Lauren Canfield. Arthur William Contando. Mia Bella Capolongo. Lindsay Catherine Kerrigan, Honors Scholar. Christine M. Cavallaro. Julia Camille Ciccoletti. Jessica D. Clark. Jasmine Elise Cohn. Trevor Davis Conklin. Kaylee Brianne Copeland. Christopher Michael Cuccio. Hannah N. Dixon, Honors Scholar. Devin Mark Deal. Serena Mary Durdak. German Jose Franco. Jensen Patricia Gibbs. Kalia Samira Gordon. Kyle C. Graham. Beth Ann Gregory. Miranda Lee Groover. Savannah Ann Gwynn. Samantha Elaine Hamlin, Honors Scholar. Jessica Lynn Hartman. Samantha Ann Horrocks. Joshua Cole Howells. Christopher Boyd Jaskolski, Jr. Kimberly Jill Kaschak. Paul Joseph Kaschak. Alyssa Lynn Cashmere. Erin Lynn Kazmirsak. Cynthia J. Carrick. Darnell Jordan King Marable. Jane Marie Kircher. Katie Klamfoff. Aaron David Leedy. Spencer James Lindstead. Nicholas Salvador Maseko. Josen Livingstone Mana. Nicholas Christian Morrow. Katie Marie Morrow. Brianna Marie McGuire. Talib Morris. Carter Andrew Morse. Jamie Lynn Murray, Honors Scholar. Mackenzie Jules Orabello. Sean Ross Perry. Ursula Ann Peterson. Marcelo R. Polar. Bailey Lois Reed. Gabriel Alexander Reyes. Joseph Reyes. Abigail Margaret Ritz. Will Rivera. Haley Nicole Russell. Daniel Adam Schultz. Tyler Sebastian. Julia J. Schaefer. Malia E. Smyrney. Lindsay Taylor Smith Buckwalter. Krista Ann Strasser. Jerusa Sunar. Mark Robert Trexler. Vanessa Jean Erda. Amy Elizabeth Weixner. Jared Michael Williard. David Posner, on behalf of Jeffrey William Yaki. Caitlin Lula Ziegler. Associate in Science, Vanessa I. Alicia. Asma Belaziz. Liza Caraballo. Gloria de la Cruz. Sandra N. Garcia. Samantha Guzzi. Olivia Marie Katrubis. Isofa Uru Bawinai. Clara Luz Laura Perez. Zuleika Resende. Holly Ann Wallace. Associate in Applied Science, Calvin James Uri. Turok School of Arts and Sciences, Master of Science in Criminal Justice, Shannon O. Lloyd. Molly Beatrice Murphy. Bachelor of Arts, Rebecca Elise Campbell. Timothy Curran Dempsey. Alexis Dudkevich. Sharon Leanne Fisher. Dylan J. Lake. Kyle Patrick Mayers. Miranda R. Strelecki. Nicole Destiny Amber Taylor. Jessica Elizabeth Troy. Betsy A. Warner. Bachelor of Science, Julia Ann Blahat. Kyle Anthony Sasso, Honors Scholar. Michael Joseph Bozim. Dante Kyrie Brown. Lydia Buglehall. Topaz Maria Burgett. Christina Lynn Carone. Cassandra Mary Catanzaro. Kirsten Taylor Chandler. Alexis Maureen Clift. Kyla Josephine Cookson. Ismail Correa Jr. Erica De La Rosa. Elizabeth D. Anna Dudley. Skylar Michelle Evans. Adam Ali Fathi. Jordan Taylor Flynn. Nicholas Benjamin Fortes. Jacob Wesley Frazier. Eugene Frimpon. Alexis Elizabeth Galka. Catherine Elizabeth Gogolin, Honors Scholar. Kaylee Ann Gradianis. Russell James Haskins. Folks. Natalie Nicole Henry. Caitlin Marie Henry, Honors Scholar. Jordan Ariana Higgins. Zoe Lee Howell. Haja Mariama Jallo. Alexis Renee Johnson. Casey Linda Joyce. Erin Marie Kibblestis. Gina Rose Kirkpatrick. Terrell Lacoste. Isabella Rose Lamonea. Rebecca J. Lacerre. Liana Lynn Lopez. Jacob Paul Magden Honors Scholar. Micaiah Louise Masters. Lainey Ann Miller. Shayla D. Miller. Sharon Lee Minier. Paige Elizabeth Mokichik. Brianna J. Manelli. Casey Taylor Montero. Sabrina Todd Moyer. Andelise Franchelle Muniz Gauthier. Kyle Six Naparella. Alyssa Marie Newell. Keisha Mary Nieves Santana. Genevieve Constance Pepson. Katie Teresa Farr. Chantel Sharika Picton. Scarlett Daniela Pujols Ricio. Dorsey Lane Lee Reblard. Bailey Elizabeth Risch, Honors Scholar. Robert T. Reese. Tyler St. Paul. Jessica E. Spencer. Narinya Tirwanganchana. I was close. Sarah Margaret Tronsu. Autumn Rose Updike. Judith Urena Pais. Jalen Nimoy Walters. Amy Mia Warwick. Maurice Richard Young. Associate in Arts, Stephen Michael Bowman. Allison Emma Lipperini. Associate in Science, Larry Matthew Cooch. Troy Alexander McEwen. Brianna Key McLeod. Graduates, please stand. Graduates, turn your tassel from the right to the left. This is a century-old tradition signifying the earning of a degree. Please be seated. You did it. Congratulations again. It's wonderful to see so many people here. I'm sure your family and friends supported you along the way. At this time, I ask them to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Also, your Keystone College faculty and staff members guided and supported you. Now, will the faculty and staff please stand and be recognized? I also want to thank the Keystone College Commencement Committee for making today's event such a success. Music has become an important part of Keystone College under the leadership of Jeff Tyluki. The Keystone College Symphonic Band will now present the Liberty Bell March by John Philip Sousa in tribute to our seniors. Thank you very much for that beautiful musical selection. It is my pleasure to introduce our final speaker from the class of 2016, Dr. Adrian Malott. Adrian is the president of our Alumni Association Board and Chief Retention Officer at Keystone.
Thank you. Good afternoon, faculty, staff, family, and friends, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2022. I am honored to congratulate you today on behalf of the Keystone College Alumni Association. You are now officially a Keystone College graduate. Your hard work and dedication have truly paid off, and we are so very proud of you. As you leave here and begin to prepare to take your next steps, I hope that you take some time to remember why you decided to come to Keystone College. Think about and reflect on your first time on campus, showing up to orientation, sitting through your first class at Keystone, meeting new people, and participating in campus activities, clubs, and sporting events. Also remember all of the classes that you sat through and the late nights that you stayed up to complete an assignment or cram for a test. But most importantly, remember the connections that you created at Keystone College with your faculty and staff and the friendships that you formed along your journey. I want you to remember all of those special moments that occurred at Keystone, but also remember today because you did it. You will always be a part of Keystone College, and although you are leaving the campus, you are in no way leaving the Keystone community. You will always be a part of Keystone College. And once you turned your tassel, you officially became part of the Keystone College Alumni Association. So no matter where life takes you, I want you to know that you are not alone. The doors at Keystone are always open, and there are many opportunities for you to remain connected and engaged as an alum. The Keystone College community is here to cheer you on while you continue to make Keystone proud. Congratulations and welcome to the Keystone College Alumni Association.
Thank you, Dr. Malott. Please rise as you are able and welcome the chorale at Keystone to the stage as we join in singing Keystone College's alma mater. The words may be found on the back of the program. Thank you for that beautiful performance. Please remain standing for the benediction that will be delivered by Reverend Lucas Taylor.
Beloved, let us seek together the blessings of what is yet to be, blessings of the imagination and insight for learning for years to come, for keen eyes to sense unexpected opportunities, for the faithful ears to hear the call to speak truth, for steady obedience of the way of love in community and in spirit. Now go forth into a world as strong leaders, guiding with intelligence and kindness as inspired thinkers, creatively seeking positive change as dedicated citizens and volunteers, ready to work for justice, and as active members of your new communities, ready to share your gifts with all. Shalom.
Thank you, Reverend Taylor. Congratulations, graduates. Let's give them one more round of applause. Keystone College is very proud of you and your accomplishments. We wish you continued success and hope that you think fondly of your time at Keystone. We also hope to see you at homecoming on October 1st. I'm going to ask that you please remain standing while the stage party, faculty, and students exit. The commencement program has ended. Thank you.